Can I just say, never in my wildest dreams did I expect the bastion of journalistic integrity in this town, Washington, D.C., to be TMZ. But here we are, and low-key, I am so here for it. After decades of having the worst reputation in journalism for going after and hounding people in public.
Hey, good morning, Kanye. Shut the
particularly celebrities in Hollywood, and destroying people's public image, all for the wrong reasons, TMZ has decided to have an unexpected stroke of genius.
You smart. You very smart.
And now has reporters chasing around members of Congress in Washington, D.C. to confront them about their horrific policies or just complete lack of leadership that are directly harming the American people. Looking at you, Lindsey Graham. And while this may not have been on your 2026 bingo card, it is absolutely making the highlight reel of the greatest things I've seen this year. You guys might remember that this week we just finished a 2-week recess for members of Congress. Because turns out they would rather be blowing bubbles alone, childless, at Disney World than passing the Save America Act to make sure that it is indeed American citizens with voter ID voting in our elections, not suspicious or weird at all. And when all of the members of Congress came back from their vacation on Monday, TMZ was waiting for them on Capitol Hill, ready to ask the important questions. Check this out.
Hey, how are ya? It's been a great day. We love DC. DC is growing to enjoy us, I believe.
So the House is not in session today. The Senate is. House comes back tomorrow. So what's the game plan for the first week?
So today, you're right. Senate is kind of in session. Well, they're about to have a vote pretty soon today. So that's why we've been looking at, I don't know if people are familiar with how DC works, but there's buildings where the senators all hang out in, and there's buildings where all the House representatives hang out in. So now we've been hitting the cafeterias over here. They're going to have to kind of walk past us probably, or maybe they're going to use underground, and they're going to have to come and vote right over here in the Capitol. So today has been all about the Senate over this side over here of the frame, and tomorrow we're hitting up, the Rayburn, Cannon, Longworth, all the good ones over in the House area.
I actually realize I want to be a senator because it's the cushiest job ever. It's like no one goes to work. Like they just had this massive 2-week vacation, and now they're coming in tonight to vote. Like they didn't work all day today. And what I'm hearing is like people usually land, they get in their car, they get taken straight here, they vote, and then they go home and sleep.
Turns out being a United States Senator is one of the cushiest jobs that you could possibly have. You don't say. And it's also these people who are profiting millions upon millions upon millions upon millions, billions and billions.
Billions and 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 billions
of dollars in manipulating the stock market, which is supposed to be illegal and yet is still somehow happening. And then they fly in, they vote on something that they've been avoiding for several weeks, and then they leave. Or they don't vote at all. They just keep it in their back pocket, as is the case of the Save America Act, because these people are cowards. But I love this. So TMZ sends their boots on the ground reporters to go hang out in the cafeterias, in the hallways of the office buildings for the U.S. Senate, which you are entitled to do as a member of the public, by the way. You can go lobby members of Congress whenever you want. It doesn't just have to be multi-billion-dollar lobbying firms based on K Street here in D.C. You can do this. And they wanted to confront members of Congress specifically as they came back from their 2-week vacation in their incredibly cushy job.
So it's like a greatest job ever. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
We're going to be getting these cool videos that Charlie and Jacob shot a couple weeks ago, where we kind of show how pop culture and politics converge.
One member of the U.S. Senate who was immediately confronted by the TMZ boots on the ground reporting team was Senator Lindsey Graham, for whom they had a whole lot of questions about his escapade to Disney World, which did indeed happen on his 2 weeks off. Not because he has children to take to Disney World. No, he doesn't have any children, but because he was seeing a friend, I guess, clutching a bubble wand and blowing bubbles at a children's amusement park. I know it was controversial when he said it a few days ago, but I actually really do stand by the great Matt Walsh when he says, if you are at Disney World as a grown adult, specifically the Bluey show with no children, perhaps you should be worthy of deportation, even if you are an American citizen.
When an adult shows up at the gates of Disney World, there should be someone there saying, welcome to Disney World. Where's your kid? What kid are you with? Oh, I'm not with a kid. Oh, well, then you can leave, freak.
I say that as a Disney lover myself. At least I have a kid now. Check this out as as they run into Senator Graham in the stairwell of the Russell Senate office building.
Senator Graham, how are you, man? I'm from TMZ. Could I just ask you about the bubble one, sir? Can I just ask you quickly about the bubble one?
Can I just ask you quickly about the bubble wand? No, thank you. No, thank you. Back to my latest new obsession in just a second. But in news of other obsessions that I have, it is almost Mother's Day. And one of my absolute favorite little luxuries that I have invested in this last year comes from Cozy Earth. Be it the new robes that I wear in the morning while getting ready, the softest towels in the world, the greatest sheets that I've ever put on my bed, or my favorite pair of pajamas. These little luxuries that I've been investing in over the last year would make the perfect gift for the mom in your life too. I may or may not be getting something for my mom this year. Don't tell her, please. Mom, if you're watching, you didn't just hear that. But I've come to realize this last year as a new mom that no place on earth, no matter how often I'm traveling to some exciting new adventurous location or meeting all of you guys on the road, nowhere is as special to me as home. And if I can make my home this perfect sanctuary of where I love the people that I love the most, that's all I could ever ask for. The comfort in your home should last just as long as the love a mom does for her family too, which is exactly why Cozy Earth backs everything they have with a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. Their products are thoughtful, they're gentle, and they're lasting. It's care that your mom can actually feel every single day. This Mother's Day, let's let our love for our moms remind us that moms deserve a little extra luxury too. Head to CozyEarth.com and use my exclusive code Isabel for 20% off site-wide. And if you see a post-purchase survey after you check out, make sure they know we sent you from the Isabel Brown Show. Again, that's CozyEarth.com, code Isabel for 20% off this Mother's Day. I'd have a lot more questions for Senator Graham, frankly. I love the bubble wand question, but maybe we should also be asking what the ridiculous obsession with constantly going to war with other countries really is. I don't know. But things did get a little spicier when they start running into other members of Congress when the House came back on Tuesday of this week. TMZ confronted Congressman Thomas Tiffany about revenge porn, based on all the allegations swirling that caused Eric Swalwell to resign from his seat in the U.S. House of Representatives this week. Listen to this.
Could I just ask you a question for TMZ DC? How are you?
How are you?
I'm very good.
So you're a dad.
I'm a dad. You're a dad.
How old? How many kids do you have?
I got 2 girls, 5 and 1.
Oh, congratulations.
We're moving here to DC.
Aren't girls the greatest?
The best. I'm so glad I had girls, not boys. What about you? You think little girls are better than little boys?
Oh, I think all children are wonderful.
Yeah, that was a kind of controversial question, huh?
All children are wonderful.
How does it feel to be back? There was a little break. You back? You feel good being back in DC and getting back to business?
Well, it's always good to be back. It's good to be back, and hopefully be able to get the people's business done.
Yeah, a lot to do. It's craziness right now. Could I ask you, there's been some high-profile resignations recently, and now like Corey Mills is under some serious allegations regarding like revenge. A judge granted a restraining order against him for his ex-girlfriend. Do you think Republicans seriously need to look at him and potentially force him out?
I have confidence in the ethics committee that they'll do a thorough review of this.
But what do you think? Do you think someone who's accused of such things should be a member of Congress?
Has he been convicted?
Well, yeah, a judge did grant a restraining order, so they did find sort of cause to do that. Do you think that's not befitting of a congressman?
Oh, it's not befitting of a congressman.
And so if it was up to you, do you think he should resign?
He will have to make that choice.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I love that they're just asking these people these questions to their face, because of course they should be answering these questions. The fact that people have known that members of Congress have just gotten away with being legitimate perverts and pedophiles for way too long. I mean, for goodness sakes, CNN was reporting on Eric Swalwell being the creepiest member of Congress after more than half a dozen female staffers came forward to say it on the record in 2017, nearly a decade ago. How has it taken this this long for any reporter, citizen, journalist, or mainstream media, or anywhere in between, to just go ask members of Congress to their face, is this actually appropriate or befitting of a member of Congress at all? Of course the answer is no, but nobody's asked them up to this point. And leave it to the mainstream media to complain that people are even asking about this to begin with. The Hill just today ran a headline about TMZ's arrival in DC. They say this: TMZ's arrival on Capitol Hill elicits both groans and curiosity. Well, yeah, groans from you because you and all of the so-called journalists haven't been confronting members of Congress on the ridiculous, insane, criminal culture happening on Capitol Hill for way too long. But also curiosity from the American people wondering, why did it take TMZ to do this? I'll leave you with this one. On their flight into Washington, the TMZ ground crew here in DC ran into everyone's favorite avowed socialist, Bernie Sanders, of course, sitting in first class. This was a couple weeks ago when they were just setting up their office in the middle of the ongoing negotiations over funding for the Department of Homeland Security. So while TSA agents could go without pay, the world's favorite and most celebrated Marxist living alive today, of course, gets to sit in first class, because why not? Moving forward, this is about to get really interesting because TMZ has officially offered to pay anyone, to pay any individual out there, $100,000 with hard evidence on scandal stories related to members of Congress or sitting senators. And the allegations that are already coming out about this stuff on social media are wild. I'm not the celebrity gossip girl. I never have been. Give me every ounce of whatever TMZ is drinking right now. Inject it into my veins. And honestly, if this is what it takes to get some actual accountability on Capitol Hill, TMZ might now be my favorite media outlet. Which member of Congress do you want to see them confront next, and what should they ask them? Let us know in the comments.